Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It is my proud privilege to announce that the Department of Electrical Engineering of BBIT, in collaboration with the Institution of Engineers, has organized an online 5-day short-term training program on smart technologies in energy scenario, commencing from today till 14th of August 2020. In the very beginning, I would like to convey that the department feels extremely contented by the overwhelming response received from the end of the participants, both inside and external to BBIT. I would like to mention that more than 250 participation requests we have got, out of which more than 60% is from outside. I would like to welcome and thank each and every participant. Moreover, since this STT is being conducted on an Google Meet platform, maybe it is not possible for us to accommodate each and everyone. So, parallelly, a live session of YouTube is going on so others can join then also. Before starting our today's program, I feel myself extremely honored to welcome our respected dignitaries. Shri Jagannath Gupta, Chairman of BBIT. Next, I would like to welcome Shri K.K. Gupta, Vice Chairman of BBIT. Dr. Balram Gupta, CEO BBIT. Dr. Shubhangi Gupta, Executive Director of BBIT. We would like to welcome our respected Group Director, Sir, Mr. Taposh Shatpati.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Next, I would like to welcome our respected delegates from IEI and IETE. Dr. Jyotsna Kumar Mandal, representative from IETE, and Professor Dr. Raju Boshak, convener Electrical Engineering Section, IEI. I would like to welcome our respected advisor, Sir, Professor Dr. Rupendranath Chakraborty. Respected Dean Academics, Professor Dr. Narendranath Jana. Professor Dr. Shiladitya Bandopadhyay, Dean of Students, BBIT. Professor Dr. Torun Shamadar, Dean of MBA, BBIT. Professor Dr. Rishabh Dev Shukla, Dean Diploma BBIT, as well as convener of the today's STTP. Professor Dr. Lobokanto Mondal, Assistant Registrar BBIT. Mr. Deepak Das, Head of Training and Placement Cell BBIT. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome attraction of today's evening, our respected speaker, Professor Dr. Shashi Bhushan Singh, Assistant Professor, NIT Kurukshetra. I would like to welcome the HODs and TICs from the other departments, that is Department of Computer Science Engineering, Civil Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, and Basic Science and Humanities from both BTech as well as Diploma section. Before we move on to our today's program, I would like to welcome everyone to join our virtual lamp lighting ceremony. presenting in front of you shades and moments of the lamplighting ceremonies which have taken place in the various events in BBIT. Before moving on, it is a humble request to all the participants to please put themselves in mute mode and also make sure that you don't press the present screen button. Now, before moving on to today's program, I would request Professor Dr. Rishabh Dev Shukla, who is the convener of this STTP and also Dean Diploma, to enlighten us with his valuable speech on this STTP. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible to? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. As you all know, sir, we are going through a pandemic, COVID-19. There is no, as such, all face-to-face classes. Students are not coming to the college. So we are trying hard to give the best. As our teaching community are very much unstable because of that, we are choosing the online platform. So that's why we have thinking about how we are giving the best to the students and especially the teaching fraternity to cope up with this situation and enhancing our learning and skill. So STTP is all about what is going around nowadays. Nowadays we are choosing some kind of IoT application, some kind of renewable energy solutions, some kind of intelligent control application, and smart grids. So in keeping in these things in mind, we have chosen this topic, the smart technologies in energy scenario. Previously, we are thinking about the renewable energy generation and the scenario of energy. That is our outdated basis. So that's why I chosen the current topic. So smart technologies. So everywhere we are thinking about the smartness. So our energy system is also going to be very much smart now. So what is the do's and don'ts according to the power quality issues? What are their challenges? They are going to take up by the Professor Shashi Bhushan Singh. So everywhere we are looking forward, the system should be a quality, should be having the quality, system is having the efficiency, but there should be a limitations. So that limitation is covered by the Professor Shashi Bhushan Singh, that is covered. And we are talking about the artificial intelligence, AI techniques. So computer science people are looking forward to their solutions. They are giving best at their end. But how the electronics and other guys are looking in that field. So that much is covered by the introduction to neural network and fuzzy logic. That is the application of AI techniques in electrical systems. So that much is I think enough to give the students and our other fraternities. We also covered the this solar PV system, which is nowadays we are thinking about to solar rooftop and MPPT techniques. These are the systems under the renewable energy. So that thing we have covered here also, and moreover, intelligent control applications. Intelligent, everyone is looking to be an intelligent system. So how the intelligence in this energy scenario, we have to look forward in another talk. And then smart IoT and foster reliability of energy efficiency and distribution system. That is also our one of the topic, which is covered by the one of the best leading professors in our West Bengal faculty. Their talk is somewhat related to the smart gas solutions available for nowadays. So it is all about the IoT, AI, and power quality, renewable. So it is a kind of blended solutions and course we are providing here. So these things they're intact in this STTP, but mostly we are dealing with the students as student positive. So this course is all about to give something learning about the students for UG and PG, and moreover some kind of challenges which can be covered the PhD topics also you can take up from it. So thanking you. So we have got running short. So I'm not taking too much time. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, sir. So over to Sudeshna ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would request our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Raju Boshak, who is the convener of Electrical Engineering Section, IEI, to say a few words. Sir, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes,
thank you very much. So, very, very good evening to all the dignitaries present in this webinar platform. On behalf of West Bengal State Center IEI, I would like to give my heartfelt thanks to the member of the organizing committee for arranging such a wonderful training program throughout this type of platform. So, as we all know, world is going to a pandemic situation due to COVID-19, and almost every country is struggling against the coronavirus. So, in this situation, all the academic related activities is carrying out through online platform, and seminars, conference, competition, etc. are arranged in this webinar platform. So it is really a wonderful attempt to organize such a short-term training program through online. Now, I would like to say something about the Institution of Engineers, because I am from the Institution of Engineers India and Joint Secretary over there. So I think I would like to say something about this institution. So Institution of Engineers India, established in 1920 and incorporated by Royal Charter in 1935. It is the largest multidisciplinary professional body of engineers encompassing 15 engineering disciplines, and the number of corporate members of over 2 lakhs and serving the nation for more than 9 decades. The IEI has its headquarters located in Calcutta. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Please carry on, sir. Please carry
Am
on.
I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir, you
sir.
are audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, the headquarters is located in Calcutta with national presence through more than hundreds of centers, several overseas chapters, forums and organs. The institution was granted Royal Charter on September 9th, 1935. The institution has the responsibility to promote the general advancement of engineering among the members of the person attached with this institution. The IEI has been recognized as a scientific and industrial research organization by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. Besides conducting its own research, provides grants and aids to UG, PG and PhD students of engineering institutions and universities. So the Institution of Engineers is the first professional body to represent India in several international bodies such as WFEO, CEC, etc. So now I hope all the success about this program, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would call the next guest of honor, Professor Dr. Jyotsna Kumar Mandal, to deliver his speech.
Honorable dignitaries, Professor Mukhopadhyay, participants, faculty members, students of BBIT, on behalf of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers Kolkata Center, IET, I am happy to associate with you in this STTP, Smart Technologies in Energy Scenario. So in this pandemic situations, we are moving ahead with this webinar, being dissemination of knowledge. I think this has been accepted universally across the globe, and in our country also we are moving forward through these e-learning systems. And on behalf of this IIT Kolkata Center, I would like to say a few words about IIT Kolkata Center. And IIT is all India based organizations, head office at Delhi. We have 63 center, out of which Kolkata is one of the center. And we have students forum in various colleges. And on behalf of this IIT Kolkata Center, we would like to give some aids to organize various activities to this ISF of various institutes. And also, we are helping out to various activities like your skill development program, staff development program, faculty development program, or various training programs in various conferences. IIT Kolkata Center has its own building at Sector 5, Salt Lake, and we are one of the major activating center in Eastern Zone. We are trying to extend our activity. So I will request all of you to be associated with this IIT Kolkata Center, and I hope this is the need of these days, smart technologies, and particularly energy. Energy is one of the main resources for all of advancements and whatever we are going to have. Energy is the primary thing. So this is the need of the day and hour. I think it will be very successful, and the participants will be benefited from this. Like also, I will be happy to associate in more programs with BBIT. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. But it is a lapse on my part that I forgot to introduce to you Dr. J.K. Mandal. He is currently Chairman IIT Kolkata, and also he is a Professor of Department of Computer Science and Engineering and former Dean Faculty of Engineering, Technology and Management. Thank you, sir. So next, I would like to request our respected Dean Academics, Professor Dr. Narendranath Jana, to enlighten us with his valuable speech. Sir, please.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Now, on behalf of BBIT as the Dean of Academics, I welcome Professor Shashibhushan Singh, Professor Raju Bosak, Professor J.K. Mandal, our Group Director, Sir, Mr. Tapas Satpathy, Sir, Dean Diploma, Convener of this program, Professor Rishabh Dev Shukla, definitely our other colleagues of the department, and the participants. our internal participants as well as outside participants. So I do welcome you all in this 1 week long STTP short-term training program on energy technologies in smart technologies in energy scenario. Definitely, when we have started our journey as far as online teaching is concerned from the month of March 2020, definitely initially we were having lot many issues, and gradually we have overcome those difficulties, and now we are matured one. Now with the leadership of Mr. Taposh Satpathy sir, we really have, rather I should say, today we are here to organize a week-long program online platform. And definitely, as far as this program is concerned, as it is the need of the hour, smart word is almost common to everyone. When I have joined in 1988 in an industry, we used to have the meaning of smart. That is in 1988. That is called single module or auto ranging transmitter. That was really not the meaning of the smart. Smart is now visible to everyone. Now there is no application in this world where smart devices are not being used. Whether it is in our home appliances, whether it is our industrial environment, everywhere smart technologies are being applied with the advent of, let us say, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so many things, big data analytics. So all are being applied to come out with the smart devices for operation of any kind of, let us say, business houses as well as our social application. So this particular title, Smart Technology Energy Scenario, definitely will enrich the students community as well as our faculty community who are engaged in this program. Definitely will be enriched, and I hope all the success. And definitely our team members of the electrical engineering department did take a lot of pain to really come out with this program within a short time. So I wish every success of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would request Dean of Students, Professor Dr. Shiladitya Bandyopadhyay, to enlighten us with his valuable speech. Sir. Shiladitya, sir. Sir, are you there?
I think he is not there.
Okay, so Shiladitya sir is right now not present over here. So next I would like to request our group director sir, Mr. Taposh Satpathy, to say few words. Sir, please.
Very good evening to all the dignitaries.
Good evening.
Today is a pride moment for us. Electrical Department of Bajbaj Institute of Technology, in association with Institute of Engineers and IET, organizing this STTP program, which is a real pleasing moment for us. On behalf of my chairman, Mr. Jagannath Gupta, my vice chairman, Mr. KK Gupta, our CEO, Dr. Balaram Gupta, and the executive director, Dr. Shubhangi Gupta, I convey regards to the team member and associated member, those who have helped us to organize these webinar. Actually, pandemic is definitely still continuing we do not know how long it will continue. Pandemic should not stop our academic exchange. In some different speech I have already told, pandemic can block us or block us in a defined zone, maybe in home, maybe in other place. But academics is the beyond periphery, where we all need to be real smart with a smart thinking. Then the technology of smartness will be adapted. I am thankful for the name, what name you have decided here, Smart Technologies in Energy Scenario. This is a very much relevant topic, and all my dignitaries earlier, they have mentioned the importance of smartness in technology. So, I am really thankful to all the dignitaries present here. Professor Mukhopadhyay, I am looking after a long time. I am very happy to see you, sir. And I would definitely convey my heartfelt thanks to all other dignitaries, those who have managed their time to attend this seminar and share their knowledge for our future prospect. I would like to convey my special thanks to today's speaker, Professor Dr. Shashi Bhushan Singh, NIT Kurukshetra. The topic also very important, today's topic, power quality issue, challenges and future scope. So we all knew the selection of topic is also very important. As I mentioned, smartness, basically we have to inherit in the beginning of your thought process. So for this smart thinking, I would convey my heartfelt thanks to the Department of Engineering, Electrical Engineering, as well as the coordinator and all my team members. I'm very much thankful to all of you, and I wish this week-long program till 14th, this program will succeed day by day, and it's really a moment we are passing through. Future will prove us that yes, academic cannot be stopped by any threat, whether it is pandemic or whether it is any other thing. We are smarter and smarter day by day. So thank you all. Wish you all every success of the program. And special thanks to Professor Mukhopadhyay. I'm really happy to see you here. We shall definitely meet after the session. Thank you, everybody. Very good evening to you. Start the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating speech. Now, I would like to conclude today's inaugural session, and let us now move towards main part of today's program. Before I request our honorable speaker, Professor Dr. Shashi Bhushan Singh, to begin his illuminating lecture, I would like to introduce him in front of everyone. Dr. Shashi Bhushan Singh was born in Allahabad, India in 1983. He received his BTech engineering degree in the program Electrical Engineering from UCER Allahabad, India in years 2006 and ME degree in Control and Instrument from Delhi College of Engineering, India in the year 2008. He also obtained his PhD degree in Electrical Engineering from Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad in 2016. Currently, Dr. Singh is working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra, India. His research interests include power quality in power systems, renewable energy, event-triggered control, electric vehicle, etc. He has more than 20 reputed publications in referred journal and international conferences in the area of power quality. Now, I would request Professor Dr. Shashi Bhushan Singh to begin his illuminating lecture. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
First, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Chairman sir, CEO sir, Director sir, and special thanks to Rishabh Shukla for inviting me in this program. And I would like to express my thanks also the all organizing team who have done so much hard work for organizing this. Okay, I would like to share our PPT. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Is
sir.
it visible?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, thank you.
Sir, please rotate the screen.
Is it required to rotate the slide?
You just rotate your mobile. Yeah, now
Yes,
it's
sir.
Just wait.
It's gone now, actually.
It's gone now.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it's clear.
Perfect.
Now it's okay, sir.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. Today's topic is the power quality issues, challenges, and future scope. What is the power quality? If we are thinking the power as a product, like we are going to purchase any product like a mobile or any other equipment, so we are assuming that thing as a product and we are talking about the quality of that thing. But in the traditional power system, unfortunately, we are going to discuss the quality of that power product. Topic, what will happen? We are assuming the power industry as a product, and we are going to the quality of the power system, and that is known as the power quality. Just wait. Now the content, is the slide is visible? Content is visible? Hello, Rishabh?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir. Okay now.
Content is visible?
It is okay now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this the power quality, in this power quality issue, we will discuss what is the need of power quality study, what is the different power quality definition, how can we define it, and the different standards which are related to the power quality. Then what are the different classification of the power quality disturbance, and why the power quality monitoring is required, what is the power quality monitoring parameter, and if time is remaining, then we will discuss the case study, effect of voltage imbalance on the three-phase induction motor. Now, is the power quality a business problem? Yes, we can say it is a business problem. Why? because if the disturbance occur or power is lost, because we, in my opinion, what is power quality? I will define in 2 words. The availability plus reliability. Means power quality is, we can say the power quality is power available plus power reliability. Okay, if it is available, then we will talk about the reliability of the power. So what we see is the power disturb, what will happen? The total production, people are involving in the production process, equipment, the total production will in ideal situation. Okay, what will happen? The order we will lose the order, we will lose the goodwill, we will lose the profit margin, we will lose the transaction, we will lose the order, whatever being processed. Then we can say this power quality is a bigger industry problem. And finally, the customer and management both are dissatisfied. So, according to one survey, Electrical Light and Power magazine, according to this magazine, that 30 to 40% of all business downtime is related to the power quality problem. Means, due to the power disturbance, the 30 to 40% business are suffer. So we can say this power quality is a big business problem, big industry problem. It's related to the economy. So why power quality is such a big problem? The reason is clear, because today we depend on totally on the electronic equipment. Everywhere, in every part that we look the topic, the smart technology. Smart technology means smart devices. Smart devices means the electronic devices, embedded system, IoT kind of thing. So all these electronic devices are very sensitive to the power disturbance, power fluctuating disturbance. Rather than this, instead of this, there is communication. We depend on the communication. In any kind of even in electronic devices, most of the things are depend upon the communication process. Means one part is communicated to another part is communicated to, means we can say the PC based. There are two technology. One is the smart technology. One is the PC based control. Another is the IoT based control. PC based control means any smart device, any electronic device is controlled by the power with the laptop or computer. Another thing, the device or equipment is controlled by the cloud computing, IoT kind of, Internet of Things kind of thing. Whatever, we are now depend on the electronic equipment, communication, and the data. What is the meaning of data? Like after the communication, a lot of data you are collecting. You depend upon, suppose if I lost my mobile, I lost everything nowadays. Because a lot of information is available in my mobile data. So if I lost my mobile, then I lost a lot of data, I am helpless, I can't do anything. So these three things, the electronic equipment, communication, and data. So such kind of thing is very sensitive to the power quality disturbance. If the power, if there is some disturbance or something, electronic equipment trip or communication devices trip or data, suppose my hard disk is corrupted due to the power disturbance, or all data will be crashed. Okay, that's why the power quality study is very important, and power quality is a very big problem. Due to the some literature, we have some labs, some banks, some industry, from some computer industry or software engineering. These data are from 2005, 1996, 2000. Okay, these data shows like a Berkeley Lab study estimation $80 billion annual cost of power interruption. Means we lost $80 billion, $80 billion annually. Okay. Second, from the USA, $50 billion per year in the USA is lost as a result of power quality breakdown from the Bank of America report. Similarly, from Silicon Valley, a manufacturing company lost more than $3 million one day in last summer in Silicon Valley when the light went out in 2000 report. Okay, from paper mill we can say Voltage Site and the whole day of production. So from this literature review, you can say the literature review of from these reports, we can say the power quality problem are very, very, very expensive in nature. Now, who is affected? Like high cost facility, high cost industrial plant, like semiconductor plant, pharmaceutical plant, data center. The semiconductor plant, now we have solved the semiconductor, the power requirement for the semiconductor devices. And you can see from the ABB website, the power quality of power requirement for the semiconductor plant. So you will see there is a lot of sensitive equipment for the, because semiconductor is a very low chip but high density, high efficient, high performing device, and we manufacture in the bulky mode, in an automation mode. For this, a lot of electronic equipment, a lot of sensitive equipment is there for manufacturing the semiconductor plant. So what will happen if the power quality disturbance occurs? Your equipment may be tripped. So what will happen? All the manufacturing will stop. Another is, if it not tripped, what is the requirement for the manufacturing of these devices? These operating conditions little bit shifted. And if it is shifted, what will happen? The chip is performing not as well as it is in a good operating condition. So what will happen? A lot of wastage of raw product. Quality of chips or IC may be affected. And if the plant is stopped, the additional labor cost, additional workout we have to do for completing the manufacturing process. Okay. So similar in the pharmaceutical industry, what will happen? We know for biotech engineering or for medical engineering, what will happen? They are doing the 6-month chemical reaction, they are doing the 6-month reaction process, and in a very controlled environment. So what will happen? This reaction process, and you know, the controlled environment means a very limited temperature range, very limited pressure range, very limited operating condition for that. And if the temperature, pressure or anything is shifted, what will happen? The reaction process is affected. And the product from the medical field, that is also affected. Similar in the data center. Data center also, a lot of loss of data is there. Okay. So these are the high cost facilities which are affected from the power quality disturbance. In the similar way, the medium cost facility, like automotive manufacturing, glass plant, plastic and chemical, textile engineering. So we can say instead of the power engineering, the power quality disturbance affected the most popular plants. And the common things, the loss of production, scrap of material means wasting of material, cost to restart the industry, additional labor cost, equipment damage, and if equipment damage, we have to pay the repair cost and other kind of cost. Sorry. Now the source of power quality problem. The different sources are responsible for the power quality problem, and we can say the non-linear load. But not non-linear load. What are the technology enhancement, like you are using the AC as a load, you are using the electronic devices as a load, you are using the adjustable speed drive ASD as a load, you are using the fluorescent lamp, welding machine. Whatever the kind of load you are using, basically these are the non-linear load. What is we can define the non-linear load. The current and voltage do not follow each other linearly. That is known as the non-linear load. So what will happen? This kind of non-linear load results the harmonic, and this harmonic propagate, and it will, what will happen? The concurrent effect or next effect is the maybe voltage spike, and all these will affect the equipment. Similar, the large motor starting, if you are, since here people are from different fields, but in the basic electrical engineering, if you study the motor starting phenomena, so you know when the motor started, what will happen? Due to the high inverse current, it requires a high inverse current for the starting of the, due to the magnetic phenomena. Okay, and this high inverse current, what will happen? Affected the power system in a form of dip in the voltage. Okay, so when the induction motor has a high rating or a lot of induction motor in a bulk, so due to the dynamic nature of induction machine needs that draw current depending on the mode of operation. So during starting, this current can be as high as 6 times, normally 3.5 times to the rated current. And this in the network, what will happen, you know, when we draw some current, high current from anything, it will consequent happen is the voltage dip. Okay, and for you know, a lot of the for removing this dip, normally we use the different kind of starter like we can use the power converter in front of the motor. We can use the different kind of starting method, voltage control method, resistance method, transformer method to limit that current. There is a lot of solution, but the large motor starting in a power system is responsible for the voltage source. Similar, the interconnected interconnection means because it is like in somebody, my neighbor, what will happen? He is using some equipment, he is drawing more current, which drawing the distorted current. It will propagate, these disturbance propagate to the other because it is interconnected. And now you know this power quality is we know now we are in the era of the renewable energy, and this renewable energy, in the era of renewable energy, we are using the solar energy, wind energy, a lot of renewable energy sources, and basically these sources are also very fluctuating in nature. We have to control it. So these are propagate the the power quality disturbance in the network, and this network will affect it to the other. These disturbances. Next, the lightning strike and other environment related damage. Okay. Now, what is the need for power quality? Because we depend upon the electronic equipment, and we know the integrated IC chip is there, and this chip is very sensitive to the power supply. We are using the SD, we are using the telecommunication, we are using the scanner, we are using the fab. Okay. So such kind of mishappening or such kind of misinteraction, okay, for continued operation of this sensitive load, we need the quality of power should be good, or power quality analysis is required. Okay, so due to this motivation, all these motivation, we have to understand the quality of power, means power, we have to consider power as a product, power as an industry. Okay, we have to ensure the quality like we are purchasing the other things. We are going to define the power quality. As you know, when we are going to define something, a lot of standard is there, a lot of organization is there, they are defining this term in their manner, in a standard manner, but if we are talking in the common language, so what is the power? Power is a combination of the voltage and current. Okay, so if the voltage quality is good, if the current quality is good, then automatically the power quality is good. Okay, but it depends upon what? We are using the different kind of load. It is something we cannot bound it. Okay, because what is voltage? Voltage, in terms of electrical engineering, we are saying the voltage is 220 volt, 50 hertz in Indian scenario. Okay, so this is the sinusoidal signal. So if either in magnitude or in frequency or anything, any deviation in this sinusoidal signal, 220 volt, 50 hertz, 0.02 cycles. Okay, any deviation in voltage or current, something, okay, tape is different, anything that is known as the power quality disturbance. But what will happen? They are the different products, like AMD is different. Okay, some is more sensitive, some is less sensitive. So if we are saying the proper operation of the equipment, the supply is required, that supply is known as the good power quality supply. Okay, so according to IEEE 1159/1995, this is the standard code name. Like जैसे किसी का नाम होता है, उसी तरह ये क्या है? IEEE Institution of Electrical and Electronics Engineer. So this is the code for that. If you know the IEEE, you can go on the website and you can search this standard IEEE 1159/1995. So there is a defined power quality is the concept of powering and grounding sensitivity equipment in a manner that is suitable for the operation of the equipment. Okay, means the powering and grounding in such a manner so that it is suitable for the operation of the equipment, that is known as the power quality. In the similar manner, IEC 610000430 define the characteristic of the electricity at a given point on an electrical system evaluated against a set of reference technical parameters. Okay. In the similar way, there is another more standards and some definition is also there. We can go through that. Now the power quality disturbance. The power quality is a combination of voltage and current quality which is attributed only to the deviation of these quantities from the ideal and is termed as the power quality phenomena or disturbance. So means any change in the shape of waveform either in voltage or in current, that is known as the power quality disturbance. So mainly there is a classification of the power quality, and this classification later on we will discuss as per the different standards. Do you know what is the standard? Okay, the standard means the organization that gives the guideline, either for manufacturing purpose or for testing purpose or for any other. Means these are the standards, these are the organization which gives some guidelines. So these two, we are normally prefer these two standards, IEEE and IEC. So there is the 7 classification in general: the voltage unbalance, voltage sag, interaction, spike, voltage fluctuation, harmonic distortion, noise. So normally in UG level, we are very much familiar with the harmonic distortion and voltage unbalance. Harmonic distortion, that is defined by the PhD, so we are aware about that thing. But in broad type, we can classify it in a 7 manner: the voltage unbalance, voltage sag, interaction, spike, voltage fluctuation, harmonic distortion, and noise. But this is what all these are the waveform, means the change of voltage or current waveform. The kind of changes, which kind of changes we are doing, and that depends upon this classification. Okay, so either it is in time duration or in amplitude. So these are some power quality standards. Some are the IEEE, some are the IEC. So these are the different code names, like we are publishing some books. Okay, so these are the code name IEEE P1433. So in IEEE P1433, normally what will happen? One definition I have discussed, but they have done a lot of practice and a lot of things, a lot of different definition is modified day by day. So these all definition is given in the power quality definition IEEE P1433. Now IEEE P1453, in this what will happen? The voltage flicker. This is one of the power quality disturbance, voltage flicker. Later on we will discuss all this, what is voltage flicker, what is voltage sag. So this P1453 is a voltage flicker. In this standard, normally they discuss about the voltage flicker and their guidelines. Now IEEE P1564, these discussion about the voltage sag indices. Voltage sag indices means different kind of voltage dip. IEEE 1159, recommended practice for monitoring electric power quality. Means if we want to monitor the electric power quality, what are the parameters you have to choose for the different equipment? Like we have to do for the electronic equipment, what is the recommended practice? What we have to do for the induction machine, electric motors, what are the practices for the monitoring? Okay, the recommended practices. IEEE 519 recommended practice and requirement for harmonic control in electrical power system. Okay, means if you are different level, the different harmonic components present. Okay, so what are the limits? If you are the third harmonic, fifth harmonic, seventh harmonic, ninth harmonic, odd harmonics is there. So what are the recommended practice for at different voltage level? In the similar way, the IEC is given the different standard. IEC SC77 harmonics and other low frequency disturbance. IEC PC77 WG1. He discussed about the terminology and definition. Okay. Next is the general class of power quality problem. So generally we are two committees. One is the IEEE Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, www.iec.org. You can go through this website and you can download the different standard from there. And second is the IEC International Electrotechnical Commission, www.iec.ch. You can understand like this. Suppose if we are going in the lab and we are doing some practical. Okay. So what is the general practice for performing in the lab? We got one manual from that. Okay. In the manual, what will happen? The circuit diagram is given. The recommended practice is given. What we have to do, what precaution we have to do. Okay. Procedure is given. How you have to connect all these things. How you have to perform. Okay. So in the similar way, you can say these two committees. These give the guideline or practices for the manufacturer, for the user. Okay. So you have to follow these guidelines. These are the IEEE standard of power quality classes. Okay. So maybe it is not visible. Okay. If you zoom it, so you can say there are the typical time duration, voltage magnitude, and different classification like transient, impulsive, oscillatory, short duration. And so one by one we are taking. One is the transient. Okay. So first we define the term and then we will come back to this. In the similar way, there is the IEC standard for power quality classes. Basically, he has categorized based on the electromagnetic disturbance, low frequency means conducted, radiated. Okay, so based on the conduction, radiation, low frequency, he has categorized the different power quality disturbance. In general, in this lecture, we will discuss about the power quality classification. One is the transient. Okay, the transient has two parts. One is the impulsive and oscillatory. Second is this is the 7 classification I discussed earlier. The transient, short duration RMS variation, long duration RMS variation, voltage imbalance, waveform distortion, voltage fluctuation, and frequency variation. The transient has the impulsive transient, oscillatory transient, short duration RMS variation, interruption, sag, swell, long duration RMS, over voltage, under voltage, voltage imbalance, waveform distortion, DC offset, harmonic, interharmonic, notching, noise, and voltage fluctuation and the frequency. We will take one by one and define everything. Like the first one is the transient. So what is the transient? Transient is the anything which happen momentarily, which happen sudden. Okay, so that this undesirable momentary deviation of the supply voltage or load current, and it is also known as a surge or spike. Okay, this is known as the transient. We have categorized in two parts. One is the impulsive transient, another is the oscillatory transient. What is the impulsive transient? Impulsive transient means what is the basic difference between the impulsive and oscillatory transient? The impulsive transient means sudden change in one direction, that is unidirectional in nature, means polarity is in one direction. Oscillatory means it is in transient in both the direction. It is the bipolar in nature. Okay. Further, the oscillatory transient is categorized into three parts: the high frequency, medium frequency, low frequency. So you can see from here, if it is below 5 kilohertz, this is the low frequency. It is between 5 kilohertz to 500 kilohertz, this is the medium frequency. If it is greater than 500 kilohertz, this is the high frequency oscillatory transient. So you can see from this figure, this is the impulsive transient, lightning storm current impulse. You can see this is the very short duration. It is in microseconds. And what is the rating of current? That is in kiloampere. Means during this short interval, this high spike, this is the impulsive transient. Okay. And you can say the oscillatory transient. Oscillatory transient is this oscillation in nature, and you can see this impulsive transient is unidirectional, one in the negative side, whereas if you see the low frequency oscillation, oscillatory transient, it is in the bidirectional oscillation, bidirectional spikes is there, bidirectional surge is there. Okay, so this is the oscillatory transient. Later on we will discuss what are the different causes for that and what is the solution for to removing these. Okay. Short duration voltage variation. Short duration voltage variation or interaction, it is in three parts: either interaction, sag or swell. Further, it is in three categories. One is the instantaneous, momentary and temporary. So based on the time duration, if it is 0.01 second to 0.5 second, it is known as the instantaneous. Means the different time interval, what will happen, it is defined as the instantaneous, momentary and temporary. If you see 0.01 second to 0.5 second is instantaneous, 0.5 to 0.3 second is momentary, and 3 second to 60 second is the temporary. So this is the short duration voltage variation. So these are three parts: interaction, sag and swell. What is the interaction? Interaction means, mainly if you go for this definition, you will see the magnitude and the time duration. Magnitude means if the level, either voltage or load current level less than 0.1 per unit. You can see from the diagram, it is less than the 0.1 per unit, less than 1 minute, for the period of less than 1 minute. Okay. If the time period is less than 1 minute and the magnitude is 0.1 per unit, less than 1 per unit, it is known as the interaction. Normally it is caused by the system fault, system equipment failure. Normally all these things, either interaction, sag or swell, it is something happen from the remote location, either any fault. So based on what is the different parameter of the transmission line, like impedance, what is the fault impedance, there's a lot of parameters. These parameters affect the time duration and magnitude. So based on these parameters, if such kind of thing happen, we will categorize into the three parts: interaction, sag and swell. So what is the voltage sag? It is what is the voltage sag? The magnitude between the 0.1 per unit and 0.9 per unit in RMS voltage at the power frequency for the disturbance from 0.5 cycle to 1 minute. Okay, one cycle is, if we are talking about the 50 Hz, so 0.02 second is the one cycle. Half cycle is 0.01 second. To 1 minute, it is known as the voltage dip, and it is caused by the either fault or increased load demand or transition event such as the large motor starting. Okay. So what will happen if you see this waveform? This is little bit triangular in nature. Okay, triangular in nature. So further, if you go in the detail of the voltage sag, there is one recommended book, MHJ Bullion. MHJ Bullion, it is especially for the voltage sag and the classification of the voltage sag. So normally there are three kind of, if it is due to the motor starting, the shape, not only the magnitude and duration, the shape of waveform. If it is due to the motor starting, it is nature is the triangular kind of thing. If it is due to the fault, its shape is different. Maybe here given, due to the single line to ground fault, its shape is little bit different. Okay. So if you go in the detail, so not only with the magnitude and with the duration, with the help of shape, we are able to find out which type of fault, what are the reasons behind it. So if we do the analogy, we can say what is the requirement of power quality. Like similar the doctor and patient is there. Okay, so what will happen if you go for the doctor? So doctor asks what will happen. First is the investigation. What are the different performance? What you feel? So you say something. I feel this. I feel this. So like this, there is a fault. This kind of fault. Shape is this. Moment is this. Time period is this. Amplitude is this. We feeling like this. So we can go for the okay. We do the investigation. Investigation, different kind of testing we will write. Okay. So similarly, we will write the different kind of measuring. Okay, measure this, what will happen. Okay. Finally, we go for the diagnosis. So this is the voltage sag, interruption, voltage cell. What is happening? Okay. According when we identify this is the voltage sag cell or this kind of cause is there, we are producing the solution for that. Okay. So like doctor investigate the thing. First we see the symptoms, then we investigate using the equipment, then we diagnose it, then we will give some solution, some medicine for that. So in the similar way, this power quality disturbance, this classification, if the magnitude is lies between 0.1 to 0.9 and the duration is 0.5 cycles in a minute, so we can say this is the voltage side and we will give the solution for that. Cause maybe fault increase load, so we will give the solution for that, power electronic solution for that. Like single line to ground fault, the nature of wave shape, nature of the fault is different. In the similar voltage swell is means the increase in the RMS voltage. So an increase in the RMS voltage in the range of 1.1 to 1.8 per unit for duration of 0.5 seconds. The same. Whatever the duration of voltage is, the same duration is there, 0.5 cycle to 1 minute. But what is the difference? The difference is there is a rise in magnitude and in voltage side there is a dip in magnitude. Okay, so there is rise of magnitude 1.1 to 1.8 per unit. We can say this is the over voltage. The reason is system for load switching, capacitor switching. So we can say if we are able to diagnose, if we are looking, okay, there is a dip. So we can say there is a fault. There is some impedance fault, and if we see the voltage rise, we can say there is a switching, maybe capacitor switching, maybe load switching. So we can investigate such kind of things. Now, the another is the long duration voltage variation, longer than 1 minute. So before that, we have investigated less than 1 minute means there is the interaction, sag and swell. Now, longer than 1 minute. So there are the three types: over voltage, under voltage, and sustainable interaction. Hello. Hello. Hello, Rishabh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
What is the time? Means maximum time of lecture?
Sir, 8:30.
8:30. Okay. No problem. Now the long duration voltage variation. The voltage variation longer than 1 minute. So there are the three types of voltage variation. One is the over voltage, under voltage, and sustainable interruption. So this is little bit the steady state kind of thing. Before that, what will happen? That is the something transient kind of thing. So over voltage means you have seen in if there is the increase of RMS voltage greater than 110% at power frequency for duration more than 1 minute. Okay, means it is steady state. This is not due to the fault. Okay, this is some misoperation of other equipment. So over voltage, under voltage, a decrease in the RMS AC voltage. This is similar to voltage. Over voltage similar to voltage sag. Under voltage is similar to voltage sag, but it is less greater than 1 minute. So the reason for being is different. The solution for that is different. Okay, so these are the symptoms. These are the symptoms so that we can diagnose the fault. We can investigate sustained interruption when voltage is 0 for the duration more than 1 minute. That is the sustained interruption. Like another is the voltage imbalance. Voltage imbalance is normally in three-phase voltage. What will happen? The all voltage magnitude is equal and they are 120 degrees equally apart. So that is the balanced voltage. So either in the magnitude of phase voltage or the their angle is displaced from the 120 degree, that is known as the voltage imbalance. So normally if you are performing in the lab, you have generally seen when you are performing the operation of three-phase induction motor, either the reversal testing in the first year or something else. Normally you say, the lab in charge saying in all the three phases the voltages are different. There is some. So what will happen? Since we are not there is a CPA in a single phase, we are applying more load. So what will happen? There is a voltage imbalance. Okay. So normally as per the standard, voltage imbalance should be less than 2%, and it will cause the network problems such as malоperation. Maloperation means suppose protection relay is putting for some setting, means if we put the over voltage protection, okay, and we have putting our relay or equipment in a particular phase, okay, but what will happen? The average voltage is okay, average voltage is 220, but if some phase the voltage is high, what will happen? The relay will trip. Even this is not the over voltage, but due to the voltage unbalance, what will happen? The relay will trip. So such kind of mal-operation and misoperation will happen. Voltage regulation equipment and also overheat of the motor and transformer. We know if there is the voltage imbalance, what will happen, or if all the magnitude is different. So you have studied the sequential transformation. The sequential transformation, what will happen? You are converting the voltage magnitude into the sequential positive sequence, negative sequence, and in power system you have studied basically the positive sequence, negative sequence, and zero sequence. So what will happen? Any unbalanced voltage we can convert into the positive sequence, negative sequence, and zero sequence. So what will happen? Positive sequence voltage will, if unbalanced occurs, what will happen? The negative sequence. If system is balanced, so what will happen? Positive sequence remains in, zero sequence voltage, negative sequence voltage is zero. If voltage unbalance occurs, what will happen? Negative sequence voltage raises, and if the negative sequence voltage raises, what will happen? It will heat the motor. Okay. This is the effect of voltage imbalance on the induction motor. Next is the waveform distortion. Waveform distortion means the signal or sinusoidal is deviating from the sine wave. Now the waveform is not the sine wave; it is something different. We will say there is a 5 types of waveform distortion: DC offset, harmonic, interharmonic, notching, and noise. Okay. What is the DC offset? DC offset means the presence of some DC voltage or current in the AC system. What will happen? It can result in the corrosion of the network or customer earthing system. What will happen? The magnitude will raise. It seems to be the magnitude of AC will some higher value. Okay. What is the harmonic? Harmonic is the periodic sinusoidal distortion of the supply voltage or load current caused by the non-linear load. Okay. So normally what will happen? Suppose if you are working on the 50 Hertz, so if the integral multi of this means third harmonic is 150 Hertz, okay. So here maybe you can see, first you say the cause of this mainly electronic devices, all electronic devices, medical test equipment, and effect is the overheating of cable or motor or electric or incorrect measurement of voltage and current by the ordinary meter, not the sequential means whatever you use the PMMC meter or moving iron meter. So harmonic is there. You can see from here this waveform. If you see this waveform, what will happen? The creation of non-linear waveform by adding fundamental and third harmonic frequency waveform. So you can see here is the top, the fundamental waveform. Okay. Now we are adding the third. Just a minute. Now in fundamental we are adding the third harmonic. So if you see the summation of this Kejor sum, what will happen when the zero is there? Okay, when 0 is there, what will happen? The resultant is 0. But when magnitude is positive, this magnitude is positive, the resultant magnitude is higher. Okay, you can see here is the when the peak of fundamental is high, but the third harmonic magnitude is negative. What will happen? The overall voltage reduces. Now the peak exchanges. Peak exchanges, shape of waveform exchanges. It is little bit, you can say, the flat in nature. Flat in nature. Okay. So when you meet the first harmonic and third harmonic, the what will happen? The waveform is nearly flat in nature. Okay. So this is the distortion. Okay. You can see in the left hand side, this is the THD analysis. Okay, you can do the THD analysis or FFT analysis using the harmonic analyzer in hardware, or you can simulate this thing in the MATLAB. Also, there is the FFT tool, fast Fourier transform tool, and in FFT tool you can see this THD means what is the fundamental harmonic component is there, what is the phase of fundamental harmonic, what is the magnitude of third harmonic, what is the phase angle of third harmonic. Okay, you can observe all these things in hardware by harmonic analyzer or power spectrum, power quality analyzer. Okay, or in simulation you can go to MATLAB and you can see in the FFT tool. So this is the harmonic distortion. This is the THD, total harmonic distortion, and this is available in the UG class, undergraduate class. It is defined as the static of hello.
Satish sir, we are 10 minutes left only, sir.
Okay. Previously I asked that. That's why I asked. He told me, you have to wait up to 8:30. Okay.
Okay, some time should be given to the question, answer, and discussion.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I can summarize it. Okay. So these are the different THD. You can see the interharmonic. Interharmonic means not only THD you have studied in UG class. There is no issue. Okay. So only along with the integral there is some non-integral multiple harmonic. This is known as the interharmonic. What will happen? Normally noise is created like light flicker, audible noise in TVC, radio, audio equipment. Like similar the notching. Okay, so you can see this notching in the waveform. Okay, this is normally you have seen if you have studied the power electronics, there is the commutator, and the commutator when the commutator at that time at that distance what will happen due to transient of the switching the switches when the switches is shifted, what is this kind of peaky nature you will see. So this is the notching. Similarly, the electrical noise is there. This is the low voltage high frequency signal superimposed on 60 Hz fundamental. The cause is SMPS fluorescent light. Okay, you can see with the fundamental there is a means very high frequency. This is a very high frequency. If you figure some, this is in megahertz. Okay, and very low amplitude. This makes the noise. Okay, similarly, you will share your output. You can see the voltage fluctuation, definition, and power frequency variation is there. This is a very important slide. Why this is very important? This is a summary of all these events. Means either you are going for the impulsive transient, oscillative transient, sag, tail interaction, under voltage, over voltage. Okay, so you can see the different sequences there, different effects is there, and different solution is there. Okay, so this is our diagnosis tool. So that I have given example here. Like a medical equipment, using the previous table, you see the symptoms. What are the symptoms in the power system? Now you examine that system, perform the accurate measurement, and to determine the actual state. Now you go for the diagnosis. Okay, diagnosis means which kind of fault may be occur and what are the cause, and then go for the remedy solution. Like this, these are the different power electronic solutions. Like you can use UPS, you can use different transformer, surge arrestor, okay, filter, active and passive filter. These are the power electronic research. These are the challenges. There is the new technology is there, new power electronic equipment is there for the smoothing the waveform. Till now we don't have the sinusoidal waveform. Finally, if you can measure it, you can manage it. If you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. If you can measure it, you can manage it. Okay, so that's why the power quality classification and power quality understanding is required. If we are assuming the power as a product, we are going for the parameter for the sensitive load, for diagnosis it, okay, and for managing it. Okay, so that's why the measurement is required, that's why the classification is required, and that's why the indices is required. Now next is the power quality monitoring. We will little bit discuss about it because the time very less time is there. The power quality monitoring, why the monitoring is required, what to monitor, what are the limits, when to monitor, where to monitor, how to monitor, who should monitor, and what to do with data. Okay, so this is the procedure. This is the procedure for monitoring. So why monitor? Because that's why I'm talking the cost and quantity. The earlier what will happen, there is the cost and quantity. These are two-dimensional things. Now, due to the increasing cost of poor power quality, advance of poor power quality standards and regulations, increase the sensitivity of equipment, electronic equipment, telemetry equipment, and data centers, energy conservation. This is converted into the three dimensions: the quality, cost, and quality. Okay, so now we are adding the quality along with the cost and quantity. So these are the implication of poor power quality. Implication of reactive power means what are the losses due to harmonies. Okay. So these are the compensation techniques. If you are using the power electronic devices, so using the compensation, these are the benefits. Means current losses will reduce the losses. Okay. What are the stability margins there? We will get the better stability margin, improvement power factor. This is the benefit of harmonic filtering. This is the benefit of power quality improvement. This is the benefit of power quality means energy saving, release of block capacity, reduced temperature rise. Temperature rise is not only the temperature rise, it is related to the life of the equipment. Suppose if you are using the motor equipment, so what will happen? If continuously the temperature will rise, the life will reduce. Okay, this is next, increase reliability and life of the equipment. If you improve the power quality, what will happen? The life. Reduce the malfunction of the equipment means this is a miss operation. So this will happen less. So, but obviously this is the economical benefit, and this is the indirectly benefit. Indirectly benefit means the penalty saving, tax benefit, compliance to the standard and regulation. So this is the power quality monitoring benefit, understanding power quality and reliability, prioritize the system improvement, identify the power problem condition, information services, enhance quality of delivery, formulation of regulation and formulation of the standard. So this is like similar to this. Suppose this is the modern tradition, and now we will all these things, all these parameters, we will get in our mobile. Okay, so in mobile, if we are doing the power quality monitoring, we will get the indication when the service is required. So when we measure this power quality, then we know what are the regular service periods. So we will get SMS service. Okay, this kind of sensitive equipment servicing is required. Okay, so we will call the service person, and so what will happen? The life efficiency, performance, all these things will improve. That's why the power quality monitoring we have to do. Okay, these are the other benefits. What to monitor? So basically the voltage and current quality, and these are some parameters. Like if you are in steady state, then steady state limit frequency distortion. These are the parameters. That's why we are talking. These are the parameters that you have to measure. Okay, these are the common other parameters. Okay, so these are in audit. These are the parameters that we have to measure. These are the symptoms of harmonic. Okay. So at the last, we can define power quality in a different manner. Like for a utility, what is the reliability and continuity? That's why I say availability and reliability. For manufacture, there is no rejection of product. Suppose I have given some product so we have specified in the nameplate, this is the 50 Hz, 220 volts efficiency, this is performing time, is this, its life is this, okay. So for manufacturer, this is the product is less subjective. For end user equipment, proper functioning of the equipment. Okay. So these are the term definitions. This is the site survey. Before going for the power quality monitoring, we have to survey such kind of thing, data, nature of the problem, like the medical diagnosis. We have to see the nature of problem, characteristic of the sensitive equipment, which equipment we are using, what is the history of that equipment, what is the regular problem, what will happen, what are the possible sources, what is the existing power conditioning, system data, electrical design, then implication and benefits of the improvement. Okay, what are the limits? The different standards given, like for ASD, we will put the different limit. For machine, we will put the different limit. For computer center, we will put the different limit. So this power quality is as good as we are for the particular equipment. So these are the different standard guidelines for that particular product. These are harmonic limits, voltage and current limits. When to monitor? There is some specific conditions, some guidelines, like before installation of the plant, you have to monitor. Before expansion, suppose we have developed this kind of system, now I have to expand the system. After problem occurrence, like continuous problem is occurring, we have complaints, then we have to monitor. Formulation of guidelines, suppose we have to ensure some guideline for the system, we have to monitor that system. Where to monitor? Like close to sensitive load, close to source, PCC, and major nodes. These are the some system, and there is some sensitive loads where you have to, like, this is the PCC, single line is the PCC. So this is the example of load. This is the harmonic in power system, how the harmonic is propagated from one network to another network. This is a simple single line diagram for the different sources. So you can see here the different waveform. Okay, so these different waveforms is due to the different equipment, like PC, if you are using the PC, if you are using the UPS. Okay, and now in the second one, when you are using the some controller device like harmonic filter you are using or harmonic filter you are using. Okay, so these compensate that signal and make manage it. These are the different equipment you are using, like DSO, multimeter, harmonic analyzer, filter meter, impedance analyzer, ID, intelligent electronic devices. Okay, this is the smart devices, smart technology which you are using that will give you benefit. Okay, who should monitor? They are the different, like supply of power, consumer, regulator, manufacturer. Okay, so these are the different regions. Like contractual improvement measure, compliance. Okay, so consumer, supplier of power, these are the people who will monitor the things, power quality. And what to do with data, this is a very big problem. Like we have to collect the raw data, we have to compile the data, we have to analyze. Means if we are doing the continuous analysis, there is a huge amount of data and we have to apply the data analysis, we have to manage it. That's why we can see the symptoms. You can apply the AI technique. There is a lot of then diagnosis, recommended, and action. This is the main diagnosis, recommendation, and action. This is the major objective of the power quality analysis. Okay. Now you can see the monitoring of power quality is important. Data collection should be systematic. Data analysis is important. Power quality monitoring equipment are available. Power quality audit should be made mandatory for the specific customer. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rishabh. Now you can ask any questions. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Participant, if you have any questions, query, you can ask. Any participant are having any queries? You can ask. You can write in the chat.
And if you want to further contact with me, I have given mail ID to you. Okay. So if you have any problem further after that, you can contact me sbsingh@nitkr.ac.in.
Okay. Definitely, we are going to share your PPT and your contact detail. If anyone is having any query, any kind of further association, we will definitely share your contact detail.
For the research purpose?
Definitely, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for very valuable talks on the power quality. We have very much benefited. At least we should know about the power quality of electrical equipments. Thank you, sir. So today's session we are going to end it here. And thank you for attendees that you have patience, keeping patience here. And especially Sudeshna ma'am, they have done a really good job. And Shubhajit sir, Shovik Bakshi sir. So thank you all. Thank you all. So officially I'm going to ending here. If anybody has any queries,
Sir, link for feedback form. Sir, link for feedback form is not available here. It was said in. It will given in the Google Meet.
Yes, we are going to put it here. We are officially closing now. We are going to put it here. Before closing, I'm going to put here. Thank you all. Thank you, Sasi sir. We are going to put the link. Okay, welcome, sir.
The feedback link has been also given in the WhatsApp group, so you can check it from there as well. Please fill that feedback form and submit it within 10 PM today. Thank you. Okay, participants, you can leave and our session is over for today. We will possibly have the same link for the Google Meet session, and we will share a new YouTube link for tomorrow's session. So thank you and good night, everyone. And please join tomorrow at 6:55 PM. Thank you.